In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you in part by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
(2018-377). State of Arkansas versus Misty Lynn Blair, also known as Misty Lynn Woods. Ms. Woods, are you going by Woods or Blair at this time?
Blair, sir.
Blair, all right. There's a note on the docket here that Mr. Burnett was just appointed earlier this week as your attorney with the Public Defender's Office. But here today we have Mr. Gibson appearing, substituting because Mr. Burnett's not available today. So,
And
Yes, sir.
Judge, actually, I believe this is a Division III case.
right. So I have it down for arraignment on charges of theft by receiving, Class C felony, forgery, a Class B felony, second count of forgery, a Class B felony. Those are the charges in this matter. On the charges, how does the defendant plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor. Would ask that she be set for next Friday in front of Judge Putman to get on his schedule.
Okay, and that'll be, just to confirm, that'll be
11/9.
November 9th. So you're to reappear on November 9th. Your plea of not guilty is noted. And as I say, your attorney, will you be continuing on the case?
It'll be mine because she'll be Division III.
Okay.
I'll get out and visit with her.
All right. So in the end, Mr. Gibson here is going to be the attorney representing you on this matter.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you may be excused at this time.
Thank you.
2018-238. State of Arkansas versus David Bostwick.
Judge, I believe Mr. Bostwick's here for the purpose of just a reappearance. There's no issues to take up at this time on behalf of the defense.
He was arraigned. He was arraigned way back in July. I was trying to see where we've been since then.
Judge, I show him set today for review and then reappear on pretrial 2/8, plea deadline 3/8, jury trial 3/11.
I show that he last appeared in front of the court on August 31st. And the court set a bond on him. And so that a bond of $2,000 cash or pro is in place at this time. Anything else on this case?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
No, sir.
Mr. Boswick, the court just wants your next appearance in court is set off for February 8th. You got a March 8th plea deadline, and then you're set on the trial schedule for the week of March 11th of 2019. No. All right. Mr. Boswick, are you receiving your medication as it's prescribed?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I've been taking my meds. I'm still not quite regulated with them yet, but I am been taking them. And
Okay.
sir, they've been helping, thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'm sure Mr. Burnett will be out to see you relatively soon. All right. 2017-218, State of Arkansas versus Sean Daniel Collette.
Judge, Mr. Collette, I believe, has had his evaluation, just we don't have the report back yet. Looks like September the 25th, he went down, had it done. So it's still just pending the results from that forensic.
Okay. I think we're waiting that evaluation to get him back on the court scheduling orders. Let's just see. Originally, we had him on a trial schedule that had him for trial in the month of February of 2019. But I think we were waiting on to reinstate that order to get the evaluation back and determine whether the case is ready to proceed. I'm just looking through here. It's a 2017 case. Maybe I have it right. Yes, I am wrong. That was February of 2018. Okay. So we don't have any kind of order currently pending.
Judge, I propose in Mr. Collette's case, if you have a setting in, you're not here in December, are you?
I don't have a setting in December, no, sir.
What's your latest November? Because I don't know.
November 30.
November 30th.
I'd ask we just set them for November the 30th and check on that eval, and if we have it back at that point, we can move forward with scheduling or not, but I'd hate to continue it out till January, just if they come in sometime soon.
Well, my plan, given the age of this case and the age of the alleged victim in this case, that we're going to set this matter just as soon as it's possible to do so. If the evaluation comes back and makes it not possible to go forward with the case as a criminal prosecution, we'll have to, that'll be a different situation. But if it does come back and we're proceeding on a criminal prosecution, we're going to have to set this matter promptly. So I think that's a good suggestion. The court's setting, Mr. Collette, I'm setting you for reappearance on November 30th. You may be excused at this time.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
If you've got Medicare and you need a hand with all that mail you get, you want someone who understands all of that fine print that you don't want to read. Come on to Hickory Hill Insurance. Yeah, we know just what you need. Hickory Hill Insurance, proudly serving Medicare beneficiaries in the Harrison area for 10 years. Give us a call at 743-9006. That's 743-9006. What you need.
2018-32, State of Arkansas versus Luther Wayne Dillon.
Your Honor, mental evaluation, we're waiting on, I guess, on him to be evaluated on that.
He hasn't been in to be evaluated?
He has not been evaluated. I did make a phone call to Billy Burris this morning Your Honor, to try to get an update on when his appointment will be. But I've had no word from him yet, Your Honor.
Let's see. I'm just checking for scheduling orders of whether we have anything.
I don't believe there's anything
We're
scheduled
tracking.
at this point. We were just here for an update today, Your Honor. He previously had a trial scheduled.
We previously had a trial scheduled in July, I believe. I'm just trying to see where we are, where the evaluation comes into play. Okay, that in July was when this petition was filed. Actually, orders entered in October. Was there a gap in there?
I think there was some confusion on submission of the orders, and so I got with Mr. Downham, and we got those presented by the defense and filed.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, well, I know, given the state of things, it's difficult to expedite anything in that mental health arena, but let's see what we can do on it.
Judge, the state will email Dr. Huston. We've had some good luck speaking with her and getting her to schedule things, so we'll have an update for the court.
All right. Very good. The matter remains pending, and once again, this is one that as soon as it clears the evaluation, if it does not receive if it's not established by the evaluation that the criminal prosecution cannot proceed, then we need to get it on the trial schedule and moving forward.
I understand, Your Honor. I understand this case needs to be fast-tracked.
Yes, it
once
does.
the results are back.
All right. I'm going to put it down for I'm going to put it down at this time for review. January 18th, just to make sure it doesn't drop off the
I understand, Your Honor.
track. So I'll order a reappearance on January 18th for the purpose of determining what the status of the evaluation. If it gets done faster than that, then we'll move faster.
I'll certainly notify the court, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
That's the only thing to take up on his case today, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be excused, sir.
Yes, sir.
2017-46, State of Arkansas versus Robert Carroll Hoffman.
Judge, I believe Mr. Hoffman on the top of the second page also has 18383.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Let me look at this one.
Judge, while the court's looking at a little background, Mr. Hoffman was arraigned last week in front of Judge Putman in his new case. However, because his revocation was already pending before this court, we asked that it be moved to Division 4.
All right.
So I think in the 2018 matter, he needs to be scheduled out for trial. In the 17 matter, he's here for revocation review. We would ask that that gets set for the 11/30 date for hearing, and if it needs to be moved again to track with the newer case, I'll let Mr. Burnett address that at the 11/30 date.
Mr. Hoffman, the case the revocation case you have pending is 2017-46 is set for hearing on November 30th. Case 2018-383, which has been transferred to the Division 4 docket. Do we know that an order of transfer has been entered? There has been?
Say that I wouldn't swear to.
My notes say there was on October 26th, but I haven't seen the actual order.
Well, let me check that.
Judge, we do have one. Or one to sign, it looks like.
All right, and the scheduling order has already been entered for that on my docket, which sets Mr. Hoffman for trial the week of July 15th of 2017, or 2019, excuse me.
Judge,
And March 22nd of 19 is a reappearance date.
he also has another case, 18360, which was previously arraigned on, looks like October 19th. And in that case, his jury trial was set in June. The state would not object if the defense would like to just bump this one back to June too, so that they're on the same schedule.
I think that's fine, Judge. This case looks like it's a theft by receiving case, not overly difficult, so it'd probably be easier for everyone involved to track them together.
So let me see what we got. Okay. Court is going to file an amended scheduling order in case 2018-383. We'll set the matter for, in that case, for going to set it for jury trial June 3rd, 2019, the week of, and March 8th of 2019 will be the date for next date for reappearance. In light of that, the number of cases, and I'm going to ask, just make a note, Mr. Burnett, to get out and see Mr. Hoffman as soon as possible, as long as he's sitting in jail. Mr. Hoffman, if you were to make bond on any basis, I don't know what your bond status is at this time, you need to be aware of those dates I've just set. You've got 2 cases where you're set for jury trial during the week of June 3rd of 2019 and have a reappearance on March 8th of 2018. Excuse me, March 8th of 2019. And you are responsible for getting yourself to court. You're also responsible for getting in touch with your attorney. As long as you remain in jail, I'm confident that Mr. Burnett will be out to see you and confer with you on these cases. Your case for revocation, just to be really clear on it, is 2017-46, and it is set right now for hearing on November 30th. You may be excused at this time.
Your Honor, is there any way I can get a bond reduction on the, what is it, the 10 charges I have right now? On $50,000?
Is that on the case 2018-360? Is that the one that, I just reviewed them all, let me see. Yeah, that appears to be the one that has 9 counts on it. One of which, in terms of the bond, is significant because he's accused of fleeing. At this time, I'm not going to, I think let me check on these. I have to say it was more efficient to have a paper file where I could just put them. I could have all 3 files open at the same time. There, I've said it. I'm done. Don't believe that at least I'm going through this and I'm not seeing that the court has set a bond on the revocation case. But we have set it down for hearing on November 30th. And the court's going to reflect that this. I think it was set today. I think it was set down today originally because that's within the 60 days. Is there a waiver of the 60-day requirement, or do we? I think we need to have otherwise, I think we need to have a hearing today.
Judge, we'd waive the 60-day requirement on this. It does look like we were appointed on 9/28, so 11/30 would put us right there past the 60-day requirement. So I would waive the 60-day requirement.
Okay. All right. with regard to bond, the courts, it's fairly irrelevant to set the bond at this point if you've got a no bond hold on the revocation proceeding, which is set for hearing on November 30th. And again, I've asked Mr. Gibson to note for Mr. Burnett to get out and see you at this point, and so that we can be prepared to go forward on November 30th on the revocation case. So I'm not lifting that no bond hold on that case. You may be excused.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
Inland Waste Solutions works diligently to be good stewards of the environment. Reducing waste via curbside recycling services, Inland Waste Solutions takes this mission seriously, but they need your help. When putting your waste and recyclables in their respective curbside containers, be sure that cross-contamination doesn't occur. Please only place recyclable materials in the yellow top bins. Check your recycling do's and don'ts list before you throw any item into the yellow top recycle bin. Together we can make a difference. Inland Waste Solutions, local people serving local people in Harrison.
Going back and calling 2016-348 State of Arkansas versus Melinda Gallardo Hoffman.
The patient indicated she might be interested in drug court.
Judge, with Mrs. Gallardo Hoffman, I think that there's been interest expressed in drug court. I'll relay that to Mr. Burnett, see if she is, get her screened. As she's set today, I would ask that she be bumped to the 11/30 date. And I would waive the 60-day requirement. Looks like she was served on September the 25th.
Okay. I'm noting a waiver of the 60-day requirement. And ordering her for hearing on November 30th. All right, you may be excused at this time. 2018-380, State of Arkansas versus Corey Kyle Kreitlow.
Judge, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent Mr. Kreitlow. It looks like he's here for the purpose of plea and arraignment.
Mr. Kreitlow is for arraignment today on a charge of false imprisonment, a Class C felony, false imprisonment, a second count of false imprisonment, then a third count of false imprisonment, a fourth count of false imprisonment, all Class C felony, stalking in the first degree, a Class C felony, aggravated assault on a family or household member, a Class D felony, and then a second count of that, and a third count of that, and a fourth count of that. Total of 9 charges. On those charges, how does he now plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
I note that the public defender was appointed on October 26th to represent him in the person of Mr. Burnett. Mr. Crotlow, the court is informing you you have appointed counsel through the public defender's office. That's Mr. Burnett. The gentleman here in the courtroom today is Mr. Gibson. He is another public defender who's standing in for for Mr. Burnett today, and will advise Mr. Burnett of your status and to get out and see you as quickly as possible. Plea of not guilty is noted on the record in your case. The case against you is set by a scheduling order at this time. That scheduling order sets the case for trial in the week of July 15th of 2019. That's when the trial date is set. And your next appearance in court is actually for March 22nd of 2019. After you meet with Mr. Burnett, if there's a sooner date that the matter can be dealt with, that request needs to come through Mr. Burnett on that matter. Now, let me get the what is the defendant's status with regard to bond?
Judge, this is one that is new enough that I don't believe I have a file set up on them.
Okay, bond, according to the information, is set as at $150,000.
Judge, looks like the charges of this, it has to do with some sort of relationship he had, and I think that the restriction, the no contact, is probably the biggest part of any bond condition. I would ask the court to lower the bond to $50,000, and obviously no contact with the victim or the alleged victim in this matter.
And Judge, the state would ask that the bond remain the same. Mr. Crotlow was on active supervision out of Missouri. I believe he is in a revocation process there. He is a sex offender who traveled to Arkansas and has engaged in stalking. There were 3 children involved in this case. There was injury to one of the children in Newton County, so it's possible that there may be an additional charge out of Newton County coming. But the state believes there's significant risk to these victims who would ask that he remain incarcerated on the current bond.
Bond will remain at $150,000. It'll be conditioned upon no the indication is he's a convicted, charged habitual offender with at least two prior felony convictions, and so the court is going to condition that $150,000 bond on no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim or any of the children who are the alleged victims in this matter. And that means no contact in any form or fashion by any means whatsoever. And also the court notes that he's not allowed, well, as a convicted felon, he's not allowed to have any type of firearm, and he's to be in regular he's to fully comply with sex offender registration requirements in whatever jurisdiction he resides. So all of the the court is making it a condition of his bond that he be in full compliance with all of those requirements before he can make his bond.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I'm not aware of any revocation on my probation for child support.
Well, I suspect that Ms. Still here, the prosecutor, has spoken out of some knowledge that she may have knowledge, even if you haven't been served with a revocation petition at this time. And the revocation may not be for child support. Maybe.
That's the only thing I'm on probation for, sir.
Well, if you're charged with felony offenses down here, that could be grounds for filing a revocation in Missouri. It certainly would be in
Okay.
Arkansas. So maybe there's some things you aren't aware of as yet. So I'm not gonna debate the issue with you. The bond is set. Set is issued and conditioned as I've stated. All right. Mr. Burnett, I'm confident will be out to see you as promptly as he can get to it. You may be excused at this time.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
If you've got Medicare and you need a hand with all that mail you get, you want someone who understands all of that fine print that you don't want to read. Come on to Hickory Hill Insurance. Yeah, we know just what you need. Hickory Hill Insurance, proudly serving Medicare beneficiaries in the Harrison area for 10 years. Give us a call at 743-9006. That's 743-9006. What you need.
Next matter before the court is 2018-99, State of Arkansas versus Robert Mitchell.
Judge, Mr. Mitchell is here. He was arraigned on these charges in front of Judge Putman. The issue in this is the 1899 case is one in which he's being revoked. Although it drew a Division III number, he pled pretty quickly in front of Division IV, so you were the sentencing judge on 1899. So we moved to transfer 18351 to Division IV so that it can track with the revocation case.
Right. I'm familiar with all of that.
I would just ask on the 18351 that he be set out for jury trial if not already done. And then in 1899.
What's the new case number?
18351. It's not on the docket for today, but it may have already been scheduled out. I'm not sure.
Judge, I show a third case as well, 18315. So there's 351 and 315.
All right. Well, the revocation matter is on this docket. I'm going to start there. Let's just start there.
I think that's really all that's up for issue today is the revocation. On this case, we would ask the court to continue Mr. Mitchell's hearing, again, to track with these other cases or try to track a resolution to involve all the cases. We would have to waive the 60-day requirement in this. So we would ask that he be set for 11:30 to see if the deal can be worked out to encompass all of these matters.
Let's see. There is a so the proposal, the request from the defense is to transfer all of these cases to the Division IV docket. Is that correct?
It was because of the revocation, and I think we just do that as a matter of course, but it doesn't have to be done.
I remember from yesterday.
I don't know that it we could leave the other two cases, the new cases, in Division III and let Division IV do its revocation proceeding, and then we can try the other cases as they were. In the beginning, all these cases were supposed to be in Division III. It was just out of trying to facilitate Mr. Mitchell's early plea in the 1899 case that he came before this court to plea.
Well, I understand that, but we, in checking on the, on case 2018-99, and getting this, going back on the scheduling order, it turns out the scheduling order, in the end, was signed by Judge Putman. Now, whether he should have signed it, because I don't have any doubt that the plea was entered in front of me, but he signed it. And that's the status of this matter. As far as I know, there'd be no reason that all of these cases couldn't be on his docket. Because I mean, I saw.
So he signed the sentence?
Yeah, it was a situation that got put in his queue, and he recognized that originally this case was his, and so he signed the sentencing order that was prepared.
Okay, that works then, Your Honor. If that's where it needs to be, the only reason any of these other cases were transferred is because the oral plea, I think, was taken in front of this court. But if the actual judgment and sentencing order came from Division III, I think that's where.
That was the status as of you know, looking through it yesterday. It's one of those orders that got delayed in getting transmitted to me, and in the interim, it got apparently picked up in Judge Putman's office, and he signed the scheduling order. So I mean the sentencing order. So.
Well, Judge, and I would ask if we could just set Mr. Mitchell to reappear next week in front of Judge Putman that way we could secure that staying on in the Division III.
All right. So what I'm going to reflect is he's ordered to reappear on his revocation case. Now, where does the revocation? Let's see. When was the revocation filed?
Judge, I show he was served with this on the 31st day of August. So that would.
It was electronically filed August 29th. His first appearance wasn't until October 26th, when he entered a plea of not true. He appeared before Judge Putman on September 21st, and it was put on Judge Putman's for October 5th. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct he'll reappear on November 9th in front of Judge Putman, and I'm going to discuss the whole situation with Judge Putman. And we'll. All right, Mr. Mitchell, your next appearance in court will be on November 9th in front of Judge Putman. All right, you're tentatively scheduled for a revocation hearing in front of him on that day. Are you in any position to waive the 60-day requirement?
Judge, I probably wouldn't today, because a quick look at the warrant, I think if the 60-day requirement was violated, it happened yesterday. So I think today, if we continue it, if it happened, it happened yesterday.
All right. We'll take care of it.
And we'll just look at it. I mean, I think the allegation, or the basis of the revocation is the other cases, so.
Yeah.
And Judge, it looks like there's a significant bond in at least one of those other cases, so it's likely that this case isn't going to make much difference as far as his release status.
All right. Thank you. All right. You may be excused, sir.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
Court is calling 2017-114, State of Arkansas versus Leo Travis Newmeyer. This case was set down for hearing today.
Judge, Mr. Nehemiah is one who we were appointed just this week, and I don't even have a file set up on him yet, so. Looks like Mr. Nehemiah was arrested on the 15th of October on the revocation.
Okay.
So I would ask if we could set him for the 11/30 date.
Will be set for hearing on this revocation on November 30th. All right. Again, it'd be crucial that Mr. Burnett get out to see him as quickly as possible. 2018-296, 2017-132, 2017-230, State of Arkansas versus Timothy Oler. Okay, the newest case, he's on a scheduling order. On the 2 revocation cases, look. We had the
And Judge, just for the court's information, there's actually a total of 5 cases. There are 2 new cases that are not on today's docket. They're set for reappearance on the 16th. So I think it would make the most sense to set these cases on the 16th. I've already made an offer that encompasses all 5 cases. But if we can get them all together, it would be
All right.
easier to resolve.
I'm just going to order that all 5 cases will be, all 3 cases that are on for today's docket be ordered for reappearance on November 16th.
Then Judge, in the revocation 17-230, we'd waive the 60 days if it's not already been done.
On 17-132 as well.
Yes, Your Honor, I guess I apologize. I didn't see there were 2 revos on today.
All right. Mr. Oler, your case, you're set to reappear in 2 weeks in front of this court on all 3 of these cases. You may be excused at this time. 2010-144, State of Arkansas versus Katie Rhodes. This matter is down for a revocation hearing today. Are we having a hearing today?
Judge, I think I have her as a first appearance.
And Judge, she's not made application to the Public Defender's Office.
I think she was arrested on October 19th.
Okay, well, I guess I was thinking she'd been arraigned because she appeared before me, but I guess that was for an 8.1 hearing. All right. Ms. Rhodes, have you made any arrangements for an attorney at this point?
No, sir. I asked for the paperwork earlier this week, but nobody ever got the paperwork back to me, so I haven't done anything about that.
Okay. Well, ask again. Get it,
Okay.
Get it and fill it out. If you're seeking appointment, I know something about you from past experience, and so I would imagine you will qualify for the Public Defender's Office unless your circumstances have changed greatly. So get that filled out and turn it in. This is for, your appearance here today is for arraignment on a revocation petition. The revocation petition sets out that in May and June, you had failed to report to your probation officer. It further asserts that you had, during a possible home visit, law enforcement was unable to find you at the residence you had located as your probation residence. And they could not reach you for contact. And then in July, when they filed this petition, they considered you an absconder or evader of supervision because you hadn't been reporting as required. Now, that's what's the allegations in the petition, and on those allegations, because you don't have an attorney, I'm going to enter a plea of not true at this time on your behalf. I'm just simply going to show it as a plea of not true, direct you to apply to the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to set you down to reappear on, when was this served on you?
October 19th.
October 9th. I'm going to set you down to reappear on November 16th so that we can have a prompt hearing, and also I would assume that Mr. Burnett will be appointed as your public defender. He's not here today, so I'm gonna direct that we'll take this matter up on November 16th. All right?
Sir, can I speak?
Yes, you can.
Okay, is there any way that I could get out, possibly? I have some family issues going on right now, and I have no problem reporting to either probation or to coming to any court date. I have transportation and all that. It's just that there's family issues going on, and I was wondering if I could get out.
Judge, the probation office has just informed me that Ms. Rose's husband is absconded as well, and that we believe she will be leaving the county if she gets out. So we would ask that she stay in there for now.
Sir, if I could speak again.
Yes.
I would not be leaving the county if I were to get out. Where I would be going is back to the Hummingbird House, where I was doing well before all these issues occurred.
Do you have you made any arrangements with the Hummingbird House?
No, sir, I've not been able to call yet, but I did speak with Trish, the director, a couple months back while I was out there using and not doing the right thing, and she did tell me that I could come and stay with her for the weekend, which gave me hope that I would be able to get back in there. So
what I'm going to tell you to do is this. I'm leaving it set for your next appearance is November 16th. As soon as possible, I'll request that Mr. Gibson relay to you get your application to the Public Defender's Office done. That's the first thing that's most important. And I'll ask Mr. Gibson to relay word to Mr. Burnett to get over and see you as soon as possible.
Okay.
And as soon as, if we can have a firm commitment to a place where you will be staying with some safety in terms of relapse, the court will entertain a motion at that time to set a bond that, as long as I have some assurance that you're going to, I know from past experience that what you're capable of, and so on that basis, I will consider setting a bond and we'll handle it that way. But for right now, I'm leaving the no bond hold in effect, subject to you getting with an attorney and getting some arrangements made with Hummingbird House. All right?
okay, thank you.
All right.
In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you in part by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.